Hi, I'm Onona, and today I'll be giving my critical analysis of the game Flower. So, what is Flower? Flower is a game that uses no characters or words, yet successfully gives the impression of a narrative through changes players make in level environments. It was developed by a company called That Game Company, and its main focus is artistic games that create emotions in players rather than having exciting action-packed mechanics. Flower's mechanics and gameplay are very minimal, making the main focus the environment. If I compare it to Mechanics, Dynamics, and Aesthetics model, MDA, the biggest section would be the aesthetics, and then the dynamics, and then the mechanics. My experience with this form, the mechanics are really frustrating, but the visuals are nice. Not helpful for gameplay though. It's hard to tell where you are and where you're touching because of the scattered petals and the invisible mouse. Anyways, a summary of the game. Nothing is explained at the start. Everything is learned as you go. Players have no time limit in the levels, and opening flowers activates mechanisms to make more flowers grow. Once all the flowers have been opened, the land becomes green and full of life. This is the end goal of every level. This game is interpretive. Players can form their own conclusions while playing because there's no dialogue or cutscenes, making the story vague. This isn't a bad thing though, because it allows players to puzzle more about what's going on based on the mechanics, environment, and sound design alone. Without any sound, the game feels boring and like a waste of time. I know this well because I played for half an hour without sound since my speakers were broken. Without the beautiful artworks, players would not feel as compelled to restore the environments. The combination of mysteriousness, visual effects, and sound effects makes play more compelling and curious to players. So, simplicity and effectiveness. The sheer simplicity of gameplay is one of the reasons that players most commonly come to the same conclusion about this story in Flower. It's about world restoration and climate change. Literally all you do in this game is grow flowers by touching them, and there is no reward except progressing to the next level. The environment is the main character of this game, because that's the only character there is, quote unquote. This makes players have nothing to focus on but the goal of regrowing each area. Therefore, Flower proves that games can get away with not having an actual narrative by relying on player interpretation and mechanics to suggest a certain ideology. This game pushes ideological codes related to environmentalism to players. The idea is that humanity is destroying natural beauty and causing the world to become dull and lifeless, like shown in many of the levels before the mechanisms are activated and the world is brought back to life. Without the aspect of environments becoming green and populated with flora after the player completes a section, the game would just seem like a simple collection game. Players growing flowers and music playing to suggest goodness every time you activate a flower is an indicator that they are righting a wrong, the wrong being the dead environment caused by people. Short cutscenes, without any words, with slightly moving images before levels, also show the theme/suggested narrative. Despite some issues with controlling the wind in this game, it does a great job of keeping player interest with its storytelling techniques. My final thoughts: Flower leads me to believe that having a vague story told only with visuals and sound can still be successful, even if it makes the gameplay a little bit boring.